Well, hey everybody. This is Prince's friend. This is the first ever live stream that I have actually done here. So I'm pretty excited about this. Um, I'm also pretty nervous because I haven't done one of these before. So hopefully everybody has the links and everybody will be showing up any moment here. I do only have 0 viewers at the moment. But it's cool because we're just setting up everything. We're going to get everything together and we're getting rolling. Hey, look at that. It jumped from 0 to 6 in seconds. That's how awesome the power of Prince is here. So the first thing that I actually want to do is I want to share the awesome shirt that I'm wearing right now. And if you can see it here, it's got the there, and it's kind of using the letters in Prince to spell out all the different song titles. It is so cool. It is so amazing. Uh, and it kind of like snuck up on me because I ordered it a while ago, and then it kind of just like whoop, it just kind of appeared in the mail, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! I actually had um, that ordered. It was so long ago." So, but I did get it. It was really exciting. So the first thing that I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to figure out how to get to the tools here for me to be able to access your guys' chats and stuff as you guys are sending them to me, but I don't see them. I'm trying to figure that out. Probably should have figured this out beforehand, but that's just the way that it works. I do obviously have a few different. I think it was 10 or 11 questions that I got from the original post that I did announcing that we were going to be doing the Q&A. So I have 10 questions there. And of course, you guys can always throw in some other questions into the chat. I'm going to try and get it that way. I do have access to the chat now here on my screen, but it's not easily accessible. So we'll see what happens with that. It would be nice if I could get it a lot easier than how I'm getting it. But that is what it is, I guess. So, does anybody have any live questions? I guess would be the first question. And all right, well, I did share my shirt, so that I was pretty excited about that. So let's go, and I will hit the first. I'll hit the first question from the list of questions that I got earlier. And the very first one that popped up, and it's so funny that this was the first one, but it was Revolution or MPG. So that's a really hard question because both bands actually have their goods and their bads, in my opinion. But I also think that the the Revolution was almost too short in its lifespan. They did have a lot of epic hits during the Revolution years, but really, if you look at the Revolution, it was 1999. It was it was 1999, Purple Rain, Around the World in a Day, and Parade. So it was just those four. But when I think New Power Generation, that's Diamonds and Pearls, Love Sexy, Come, Gold Experience. There's just so many different albums that he did with the New Power Generation versus that he did with the Revolution. Really, there's he did a few more. It's not a huge difference. But if I had to place my bet on one band that would beat the other, I probably would put it on the New Power Generation. And now, of course, I'm talking the original New Power Generation, and that's with Tommy Hayes and Sonny B and Michael Bland and Levi Ceasar Jr. and Tommy Barbarella and Prince with Maite Dancing. I think all of that together, I think definitely beats Revolution. And of course, but the Revolution was really awesome. But even Prince himself ended up getting that I don't want to say getting rid of, but even, I mean, basically straight up fired the Revolution so that he could get a funkier band. That, of course, led him to the Lovesexy band, and then the Lovesexy band was kind of that really great in between the Revolution and the MPG. So he was able to just like, you know, that was like the evolution of where his stage show, where he wanted it to go. And I think honestly his stage show got to its pinnacle with the MPG. So MPG all day for me. That's my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. So that was the very first question from the questions that I had already. So now that I'm done answering that, let me see if there were any other questions here in the comments, because I want to answer the live questions before I hit anything else. Kimberly Fraser actually asked me, did I get a chance to listen to Silver Tongue? I was speaking with her yesterday, and there's a song called Silver Tongue that I had never really heard, but when I went and I downloaded it, so thank you so much for that link, Kimberly. I actually went and downloaded the track, and I listened to it, and I said, this sounds very familiar. And apparently it was a track that was on Expectation. So yes, I have actually heard it, and it is a great song. So that is that. I actually did end up having the song, so I was fairly surprised by that, because I was like, there can't be. I was like, I can't have never heard this song. But I mean, I know that there are songs out there that I haven't heard. I do have a question here in the comments. Will I review bootlegs? So I've been giving the idea of reviewing the bootlegs a lot of thought. And I think that right now, I will say that I'm not in a position to review the bootlegs. First off, there's already so many different studio albums and ones that everybody has access to for me to go ahead and review those definitely first before I start digging into, you know, box sets and bootlegs and stuff like that, and concerts that, you know, were recorded on someone's phone. I think that if I jump to that too soon, then you know, then I'm done. Ooh, I was about to make a very off-color remark, and I'm glad I stopped myself. So I would say right now I'm probably not going to do any bootlegs. That doesn't mean that I won't do any in the future, but I'm very much about using the music of Prince in order to get everybody together, and that's easiest when everybody has a frame of reference for what I'm talking about. So if I review the album, say, Come, everybody has an equal amount of chance of getting Come and listening to Come to compare my thoughts to what their thoughts would be and whatnot. But if I say, hey, I'm listening to the bootleg from 1986 and you can only get it from Roscoe down the street, then people are going to be like, well, I'll take your word on it that it's good or it's bad, I guess. I think that, yeah, anyway, not right now. Not right now. All right, so let's see what else we have here. Where did I get the Prince shirt with the bunch of faces on it? I've actually gotten so many different compliments on that shirt, and I think I might actually have that shirt here, just for, again, for frame of reference so that everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's this shirt right here. And I've had that shirt for a few months now. I actually got it off of eBay. It's really, really awesome to go on eBay. You can find shirts that are just like, you know, they're basically fan made. I mean, they're bootleg shirts. They're not official or anything. But the fact that you can go onto eBay, and there's so many different cool creators making very interesting shirts. I also have a purple one that's got the Prince symbol and like just his eye. And that's a gorgeous shirt too. I really, really like that one. But yeah, that one was off of eBay. It was $25. So it was really, really good shirt. Yes, Paisley Park is in my heart as well. You can see my mug. Actually, I didn't take my mug out of the shot on accident. So that's my Paisley Park is in our hearts mug there. But yes, I really like that. Do I think that they will come out with something that has all of the videos? that is a tough one. It's so hard because I don't know what the Prince estate is thinking. I don't really know where their mindset is. They seem to be making choices that maybe I wouldn't necessarily make. Making one of, you know, I wouldn't even think it would have to have all of the videos on it. If they just made one video, if they released like one set with all of the videos on it, I think that would cost a lot of money. What I would prefer is if they maybe broke it up, maybe 3 sets, maybe the early years, the middle years, and the later years. Charge us a good amount for each one, but not breaking the bank by putting them all together. I think I would prefer that. Will they ever do it? I hope they do. I have some videos, but it's really hard to get a hold of Prince videos nowadays, just because most of them were VHS releases, and who has a VHS? Who's got time for that? I certainly don't. Oh, I have a question here from Michael Dean. When am I coming on the Prince podcast? Hint, hint. Winky face. Yeah, I thank you for the offer of coming on to the Prince podcast. The offer of coming on this Saturday is pretty much I'm checking into some things to make sure it's going to fall in line with family business and whatnot. But I'm thinking that I'm going to be able to do that. And I like the topic, that I'm not going to spoil it because, it's not my place to do that. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun to get on there and talk with you. Plus, you have a really good speaking voice. So I can just listen to your voice. I think it's pretty nice. Anyway, going to something else now. Have I heard one song by Prince? If so, what's my take on it? Whew. Now that's, man, I could talk about that one for a long, long time. Yes, I have heard one song. I also listened to the whole of the one song kind of speech that he gives at the beginning of it. It is, it's interesting. I think that it's interesting. It's not necessarily something that I believe in, but I get where he was coming from it, and I get where the ideas of it came from, his religion, and most of it Jehovah's Witness at that particular time. But I definitely get what he was trying to do, and he was trying to, give us the idea that it's not about making a choice, it's about giving up your choice and letting God take over. I like that. I mean, it's a good message for those who kind of find themselves in a place where they don't know what to do. I don't know if I would recommend that just in everyday life, which is kind of what that song was saying. I think you have to pick your places and times when you give up everything. It's kind of like that song, Jesus Take the Wheel. It's like, ooh, I don't know, if you're driving in a car, maybe you don't want Jesus to take the wheel, because what if Jesus feels like driving you off a cliff? I mean, I guess that's just what happens. But I would say that, I have so many thoughts, and they're all circling around. There's so much to say about the one song, and what I will say is, if I was to review one song, I would say that I didn't think that it was his best musically, but I appreciate the message that he was attempting to give to the world. Obviously, the world has ignored that message entirely, but there you go. There's the world for you. All right, next question. Let's see. Looking forward to my review of the Gold Experience. Thank you. I am too. That actually kind of leads me to another question here, which is, what is your favorite Prince album and song? I would say that my favorite album is the Gold Experience, for many, many reasons. First of all, it's the one that has some of his best screams on it. If you guys have watched the best screens video that I've done, I think that it has a lot of his really, really awesome screams. I think that album is a really good experience because it does kind of give you ups and downs. You have some hard rock, you have some ballads, you have some rap, you have some, softer songs. You have tons of stuff going on, and in the end, you have Gold, and it ends with this epicness. The B side of Rock and Roll's Alive and It Lives in Minneapolis, the movie Love for One Another. I mean, there was just so much going on all around that entire album. Plus, that was kind of at the epicenter of when he had Slave on his face. That was where he was getting the most of his publicity for that. Exodus came out at the same time on the back end under Paisley Park, and it was just MPG. I mean, it's just like so much going on around the Gold experience, and for my little teenage brain at the time, like that was so good. Favorite song is actually much harder. That is hard, because you'd have to take the catalog of hundreds and hundreds of songs, just of the ones that we've seen or that we've heard, and really kind of boil it down to just one choice. I don't even know if I would be able to do that. Like I could give you like a top 10 or something, but to pick a just one that is like just the best, it would be very, very hard. If you broke my arm, or I guess you wouldn't break it, if you twisted my arm and said I had to pick one, let me see. What song would it be? I would probably say, and now of course I'm blanking on the name, it would probably be from Artificial Age, just because I don't know what it was about that song, but it just resonated so much with me. It's just such a good song. I loved that song. So that would be my latest favorite, but I have many favorites. So I have one here from Kimberly Frazier, who says, do you think that Jay-Z would have done right by Prince's music catalog had he gotten the rights to them? I would say that I'm not really sure if my opinion matters on that. I think that Prince's opinion of that was that yes, he would. And I know that there's a lot of news coming out right now that, some people haven't been getting the money that they were promised and stuff like that. But I think that if he was going to do right by anybody, it would be Prince. Just because Prince was such a high profile get for any of the streaming services. So like, if you got Prince to sign on to you, that means you did some work. That means that you had to do some convincing, So, I would say that it's definitely not an easy task to get Prince to agree to give you his songs, and just the ones that he did get. I think he did a great job with it. It was, it got out to everybody that needed to get it, and he did his job, and it got a lot of people to go over to Tidal, which helped. Prince's songs did that, Nicki Minaj's did that. But yeah, I think that he would have done a good job. I don't think that, Jay-Z is like the best person in the world, or that, he's the best businessman in the world, but he didn't get to where he was by, cheating people, or burning bridges, especially very important bridges like Prince's Bridge. There should be like a bridge built now, and it should be Prince's Bridge. It should be the graffiti bridge. Oh, I should have said that at first. I feel, that was a wasted opportunity. Let's see. Do I have a favorite outfit that Prince wore? That's a pretty good one. I think that in terms of outfits and hairdos, I am a huge fan, and I am definitely in the minority here. But I really loved the blue jumpsuit, the blue like sparkly jumpsuit that he wore on the cover of Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic. I loved that album. I love the album, but I loved his look. He had the shades, and he had the braids going. I think it's awesome. So I would say his blue jumpsuit there. Yeah, I like that a lot. I have one here from Raywin Harris, who says, why was the Purple Rain DVD of the concert not HD? That's a hard one. basically it was the limitations of the video equipment at the time. Now, I like that concert is 30 years old. If they were to make it widescreen, they would have had to zoom in and cut a bunch of stuff out of the top and the bottom. If they were to have digitized it, like it's really hard to take something old, like old, and make it HD and not have it look fake. So I think that the visuals, I think, were really, really good. Um, but they did remaster the musical portion of it, and that's why it sounded amazing. With that, they can throw that through different machines and technology and stuff that they have nowadays. But for the video, I don't think that there's a way to do that. I don't think so. Of course, I'm not a video technologist, like that's a thing. But yeah, so I think that's my answer. I don't think it could be HD, but they did upgrade the sound, and I think that was really, really good. All right, so did you read Maite's book? This is from Logan Franklin, by the way. Did you read Maite's book? I thought it was very respectful, actually. I'm actually in the middle of the book, and so far, so good. Honestly, I think it's fine. I think it's more her story that Prince plays a part in, which is kind of what I expected when I opened the book. I don't think that it is about Prince. It's about Maite's life, and such a huge portion of her life was with Prince. Like, if you think about it, she was with him for over a decade. So, she's, I think she's around my same age, and I'm almost 40. That's almost a fourth of her life. So, yeah, that's a big deal. so far, I dig the story. I like her point of view that she has in the book, and I think that it's respectful so far. I haven't finished it all, but I know some of the things that the book is likely to say. And the only thing that I have to say about that is, again, there's two sides to every story. There's going to be her side, there's going to be Prince's side, and there's going to be the truth somewhere in the middle. I was married once before. I'm sure my ex-wife thinks I'm the most terrible person in the world and says all kinds of terrible things about me. But my side of the story is I'm a pretty cool dude. So there you go. So there's that. Yes. So thank you for the question, Logan Franklin there. The see-through cheeks on Get Off during the MTV Music Awards. Yes, that was a good outfit, but it didn't strike me as like the best outfit or like the coolest outfit, but definitely really iconic outfit for him. So going back to that a little bit, I was just answering one of the comments that was here. Let's see. Yeah, basically, so far so good. Yeah, if I listen to the audio version, I could probably get through it faster. All right, I have here a question from Black Nine. This one is, who is your favorite Prince protege? Oh, man. So there's a lot of them. I think my favorite, I think the obvious choice is The Time, but I don't think that I jam as hard out to The Time as I do to some others. I think my answer at this stage, because I don't think I've listened to all of the different proteges, I'd probably say Jill Jones. I think Jill Jones does an amazing job. I just did a review of one of her albums, and I'm actually looking forward to doing another one of her albums soon, because the first one was so good. So I'm excited to do another one. But I just did a review for the Ingrid Chavez album, and that one was really, really good. So I think that Jill Jones, I would say Jill Jones definitely. Sheila E. Oh God, Sheila E. Of course, Sheila E. Okay, Sheila E. is my favorite. Jill Jones, close second. I think that's basic. That's how it would do. I think the reason that Sheila E. didn't come immediately to my mind is because Sheila E. was famous, like, to a smaller degree, but she was already a thing before Prince. Prince just elevated her to national stardom and worldwide stardom. And then when she was done with him, I don't want to say it like that, but when their working relationship was done, she continued on and continued being amazing. So like being with Prince, I didn't see her as I mean, she definitely was a protege, but it's hard to put her in the same category as somebody that that like he did everything for them. Like no, like she had a lot. She brought a lot to the table. So I would say yes. That's my answer. That's my very long-winded answer. I apologize. um, and thank you. We are up to 44 people watching right now, guys. Thank you so much. That is amazing. So I just wanted to point that out because 44 people, like I was expecting like 10. I was expecting seriously like 10 people. So thank you guys for showing up and showing some love here. So let's see. Do I wish that I would have started my Prince channel while Prince was still alive? Whew. Yes and no. It was kind of interesting the way that the evolution of everything happened because my relationship with Prince and his music was always a very personal one. I was never one of those people who went to every show and did all that stuff. I'm sure you guys want to hear me cough. There we are. Woohoo. But, it was interesting because I was one of those people who always shared Prince with my friends. Anybody who came in contact with me would always have a better appreciation of Prince and his music and his legacy just by knowing me. But I never thought of taking it to the grand scale and really doing something with it. I was actually like a lot of us friends here that when Prince died, I felt this urge to go out and share. And I decided to use YouTube to do that. And everybody who has been here since the beginning knows the whole me putting videos up and it getting taken down story. So I won't belabor that. Darn you, Taika, taking my videos down legally. But no, so it's, do I wish that I would have started it sooner? Yeah, because talking about Prince's music and how it affects me in my life and sharing it with others, it's such a big part of my life now that it feels weird that there was ever a time that I wasn't doing it. So I would say yes to that, but no at the same time, because it was almost like his death was what kind of brought me to realizing that I wanted to do it. So I don't know. So yes and no. That's my official answer. There's no wrong answer if you say yes and no. So what do you think they did with Prince's cars? Not a clue. I have no clue. They probably are driving around in them joyriding. It's like when I think of Prince, I think of this like really amazing like yellow like Lamborghini that he had in the Clock and the Jizz video, the Gangsta Glam video, and it's like, but I imagine that it had like a cassette player in it, and there's like one of his like demo cassettes stuck in it, and you just can't get it out. So anytime you're driving in that car, it's like all you can do is listen to these same amazing Prince demo songs. It's just the way that I imagine it now that you've brought up the question of Prince's cars. But that's what I imagine. So if that was the case, I would drive around in it until I don't know, it ran out of gas, and because those things are expensive to gas up and drive around all the time. So but the estate will end up probably selling them, sadly. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate the compliment. So let's see. There's a question here. Hold on. Oh wow, you guys have typed a bunch. Oh no, I'm trying to keep up with it. When will I get to the review of the Love Symbol album? The next one is Diamonds and Pearls for July, and then the Love Symbol album will end up being August. So we're almost there. We are almost there. So let's see. Why was Prince's birthday party at 1984 First Avenue not released? I don't know. It's hard for me to really speak for why things aren't released, but I would say that there's a lot of concerts out there that have not been released. Even when Prince was around, he would record every show, but only a handful of them ever got officially released. So why haven't these? Who knows? Who knows? What do you think 3121 means? That's a very good question. My thought about it was that Prince was very forward thinking, and when he wrote 1999, he knew that eventually we were going to get to 1999, and then he was going to sing that song, and then he would never sing that song again, which he never did. He never sang 1999 after 1999. He said there was no reason to. But I think he did 3121 as in like there's going to be, this is going to be the song that they're going to play in the future. And I think that that's amazing. Like, I wish I would be around in 3121 just because they are going to play this amazing song. And 3121 is an amazing song and a wonderful album. So the idea of, you know, centuries and millennia from now, they're going to play 3121 for all those, you know, weird people who all speak a different language than we speak now and are maybe living on Mars, and they're going to play 3121 while they're in the rocket. I think that that's just amazing. What do I think of the family? I think the family is okay. Not really in love with them, but I think that they're okay. I'm actually trying to find a copy of their album so that I can review the family's album, and then I can give you a full official thing. But everything that I've heard of it, I've watched a couple of live concerts of the family, and I have yeah, I've watched a couple of live concerts. I've listened to some of the songs, and I think they're good, but I don't know if they're particularly my thing, and that's not really a slight against them. Everybody has their own tastes. What is my favorite Prince beat? I would say it's actually Undisputed from Raven to the Joy Fantastic. I think it was probably one of the most original like beats. I think it was really, really awesome. For those who don't know that one, it's the boom, and I think that one was just so woof. It made me want to get up and dance immediately. I thought that was really, really awesome. Can I tell you about a Prince concert that I attended? Yeah, I can. Oh, by the way, we're up to 50 people watching now, so wonderful. I was only ever able to go to one Prince concert, and it was actually my graduation present from my mom. My mom was the one who got me into Prince from the get-go, and it was my graduation present because he was coming through Tampa. It was 1997 Jam of the Year tour. I still have my t-shirt from that. It doesn't really fit, and it's ripped, and I keep it like stored away so that it doesn't like fade anymore from any more washes, because I wore the hell out of that t-shirt. But it was Jam of the Year tour. I think one of the most memorable moments in that concert was when he was singing Sexy MF, and he had just kind of started the whole I don't want to curse thing. So he would go, you know, he would go to the crowd and he'd go, "You sexy," and then he would stop and he would go like this to the crowd, and then the crowd just like, "Motherfucker," you know. It was just like there was no keeping "motherfucker" from coming out of these people's mouths. I'm telling you. And I think that's why he never came back to Tampa. Just saying. So I have a question here. Did I join any of the MPG music clubs that Prince had in the past? I did for the first one. and still feel like he ripped me off and I paid $100 and didn't get much. I'm sorry that happened to you, Duck Matrix. For me, I did. I think I was a member of that first one as well, and I got some tracks and I got, some stuff. I wasn't a member when it really mattered, when he was like really putting some good stuff out. But I mean, Prince, what I really liked about Prince was that he was an experimenter. He always tried new things, and I think maybe that first MPG Music Club just didn't work. So he got it together and he made it work the second time around. And that was the one where he actually released a lot of stuff. So I would say yes. I don't think I was ripped off because I got to be a member of his club, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was money well spent, in my opinion. So let's see. From all those who played for Prince, who's my favorite guitarist, bassist, keyboardist, and drummer? All right, so let's see. Drummer, definitely Michael B. Keyboardist, ooh, that's a hard one. Lisa Coleman was really, really good. Putting her up against Tommy Barbarella is a hard one. You know what? I'm going to go with Dr. Fink because I'm going to go with Dr. Fink, Michael B. Bassist. I actually really liked it when Levi Ceasar Jr. was his bassist as opposed to his guitarist. So I'm going to pick Levi Ceasar Jr. for the bass. Ooh, no, Rhonda. Ooh, Rhonda. No, it has to be Rhonda Smith. So Rhonda Smith is the bassist, and for the guitarist, Prince. Duh. If I really had to pick somebody other than Prince, I would pick, oh gosh, now I'm blanking on her name. I think it's Haley from Third Eye Girl. Her, she's awesome. The Third Eye Girl guitarist. But I don't remember her name, and I feel terrible now. Oh God. Ooh. Did I attend the celebration 2017? I did not. Sadly, it was overseas. And I'm a married father of 3 with a 14-month-old, so that wasn't happening. So there's that. So 3 + 1 + 2 + 1 equals 7. Yeah. Thanks for the math. Where am I located? I'm actually located right outside Tampa, Florida. So Tampa it is. I've lived here for quite a while. Good stuff. Will we get to the Love 60 album review? Hey, wait a minute. Didn't I answer that question already? I did. What do I enjoy more? Prince playing the guitar, drums, or piano? We really didn't get enough of Prince playing the drums all that much. Like, he always had somebody who was better at drums in his band, so he rarely played them. So I would say definitely not that. But honestly, I would say guitar. A lot of people go in different directions from listening to Prince's music because he covers so much. I know people who listened to Prince and it made them appreciate jazz, so they went over and now they're like huge into jazz and R&B. There's somebody who goes into R&B. Other people go and dance. I actually went the rock direction, and like Prince is still the greatest guitarist that I've ever listened to or I've had the honor of hearing. But I went the rock era, so that's why I got into Smashing Pumpkins and Korn and Marilyn Manson, even, who is the diametric opposite of Prince. But still, I just dig it. I went more in the rock direction, so I would say guitar definitely. Thank you, DJ Gary. I hope that he would have loved my channel. I've been told that Taika knows about my channel and says that she may check it out one day. We'll see if that ever happens. There you go. Oh, hey, a random question. I love these. Have I ever watched Sanford and Son, and what do I think of it? I have watched it. It used to be on Nick at Night a lot. And yeah, I thought it was hilarious. Sanford and Son is great. It seems like a silly question. It should be obvious that Red Fox is going to make anything hilarious. So there you go. Let's see. Thank you. I appreciate that you can listen to my voice all day. My kids would disagree with you, but that's just how it works. Because of course, when I talk to them, I'm like, clean your room. Rah, 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 rah. But yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Looking for the questions here. I think it just skipped some. Oh no, it skipped to the end. Okay. Um, so we're actually getting to. I feel bad that I would have to say this, but there's also a little icon down there that has a little dollar sign. So if you want to hit that, you can pay like $1 or whatever you want to donate to the channel or whatever, and it'll make your question pop up more so that I can definitely see it and I don't have to go crazy trying to find it because I don't want to skip anybody. But we have so much activity and I love it, and it's just making it hard to follow. So I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to hit everybody's question, but the chat window is kind of jumping. So if you want to throw anything in there, it'll pop it up, and I'll definitely answer it that way. So there's that. Here's a question: have I ever been to the museum? If not, will I go in the future? Yes, I do want to go in the future. I have not been yet. It is actually on my list. What I'm thinking is that I will end up likely going next year. It's a matter of time off from my wife's job and me kind of balancing it with my day job as well. I go out of town a lot, and I have to figure out the exact times when I won't already be out of town and that I can go ahead and make it work. But I do definitely want to go in the future, even though I've heard some stories about how management is doing different things, and it's kind of making me scared to go at this point, but that's a whole other topic. Yes. So let's see. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was a great reviewer. Oh, 3121 adds up to 7. That's what you guys meant. See? There you go. Do you think that they'll release footage of the piano and microphone tour? Yes. I mean, they'd be silly not to. I think that would actually end up selling more than the Purple Rain Deluxe ever did. I would see that being sold so much because everybody would be infatuated with what his final shows were like. So yes, oh my God, they should sell that. And I've already seen some footage. There was the final performance of Purple Rain going around at one time. But yeah, totally. I think that they definitely should. And I just realized that my mic was not in front of my face, and I feel terrible. I don't know if you guys have had to strain to hear me, but now I'm much louder. So apologize for that. Sorry, guys. So um, so let's see. Let's see. He actually did sing 99. He actually did sing 1999 several times overseas with Shelby J. If you watch some of the videos, yeah, but overseas doesn't count. They tell time differently. Maybe I don't know. What is my favorite Prince duet? That's a good one. There, I would actually say the one that he did with he did some stuff with Shaka Khan during some of the concerts. I would say that the few songs that he did with Shaka Khan, some of the performances, they would sing like a song back to back, and then they would come out together, and then they would sing a song together. I thought that was really, really good. I would say his duets with Shaka Khan during like the late '90s there, I thought were really, really awesome. All right. Do I have a top 1, 2, or 3 or more favorite Prince songs? I think I did answer that one. So it's definitely one of my favorites. Right now. Endorphin Machine is a really, 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 really great song. Yeah. Weak and Funk, an amazing song. There's oh my God, there's honestly just so many. I would say Dreamer is a really, really awesome song. I would say Somewhere Here on Earth is a really good song. There's so many, but just I would say those. Okay, you got me. I'm gonna say those are my answer. All right, so let's see. Do I have any favorite Prince lyrics? Well, I think the obvious one is Adore. it's a really obvious favorite lyric with the, well, maybe not the ride. I think I really liked Future Baby Mama. That one had a bunch of really good lyrics in it. I'm trying to remember the exact lines. Oh God. It's hard to like, I need to like hear the beat and then have it going, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I know that line. Yeah, I would say those are good. Breakfast Can Wait, like the entire song is my favorite Prince lyric. I just love that whole song. So yeah, so there's that. I would say there you go. Let's see. How was my bedroom as a teenager? Prince posters all over the place. Actually, no. Um, I'm trying to think. I never really had any posters up on my wall, kind of at all. I really wasn't a wall person. Me and my family kind of we moved around a lot, so I never really got attached to any of my walls. So I would say my room was pretty sparse on the walls. I did have a water bed, and I always used to, repeat the line from Purple Rain in it. In my bedroom, there's a brass water bed. I did not have an Italian cook, but we weren't rich, so that's just how that is. Let's see. You guys are all having your own discussion. I love it. The lyrics and I Was Your Girlfriend. That was a really awesome one. All right. So with that in mind, because it looks like I don't have any other questions here, I could be wrong. But let me get to another one here. And it was, this one was from, it's a name in another language that I can't read. And it says, do you like MPG when they became solo? And what's my favorite solo album of theirs? Gold Nigga, Exodus, or New Power Soul? That's a hard one. Now, New Power Soul, I never really thought of that one as just an MPG album. Prince sang on all of those. Prince sang lead on all of those. It was attributed to just New Power Generation, but it wasn't just the New Power Generation. Whereas with Gold Nigga, Prince did just instrumentality, but it was mostly Tony M who was at the lead. And then there was Exodus, where Prince did some vocals, but it was mostly Sonny B on the lead. Now, if you guys have seen my videos about my thoughts on Tony M, I would definitely lean more towards Exodus, because Exodus did not have Tony M, and not that Tony M is terrible or anything, but he just was never really for me. So there's that. So I would say Exodus. It's a really good album. I can't wait to actually get to Exodus so I can review it, because I want to experience that with you guys. And I think that's going to be a really fun one to do when we actually do get to it. So there's that. Sing for You. Ooh, no. Whew. Oh my gosh. So first off, my voice is very dry right now and raspy. But I would say that I've been working on Sometimes It Snows in April, but you won't actually get a video of me singing that. You're going to get a video of, Prince's face while you hear my voice, but I don't know. I'm a little too camera shy for singing yet. So it might come up later. I'm not really sure. What do I think of Prince's interview with Oprah? I assume you're talking about the 1996 interview with Oprah. And I would say that watching it and knowing what was actually going on actually makes it really kind of sad to watch, in my opinion. But I think that it is, it is what it is. They had an album to promote, and they didn't want to bog it down with talks about something that they really didn't want to talk about, because Prince was a very private person. So I think that they did the only thing that they could do in that case, which was to just avoid it and act like nothing was going on. And I know that, all of us, we kind of have that idea that a celebrity's life is like ours, it's ours to experience along with them, but it's really not. Like it's theirs, and they're allowed to have a private life. And you know, and I I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. I'm not a fan of the public making musicians and celebrities apologize to the world. I'm not a fan of that. I remember when the Michael Jackson quote unquote dangling his baby controversy came up. And I've said this so many times. I've said what he did was a slappable offense. If that was anybody other than Michael Jackson, his significant other, the mother of the child, would have come and slapped him in the back of the head and said, "Don't you do that?" And then they would have been over it like 5 minutes later. But because it was Michael Jackson, he had to make a speech to the world apologizing for it. Same thing with Alec Baldwin, where he called his daughter and he got angry because she didn't want to have visitation time with him. So he left like a really nasty voicemail, bitching her out. And then his ex-wife, Kim Basinger, I believe was that, leaked the horrible video to the press. And then all of a sudden he has to go on national TV and say, "I apologize to the world because I screamed at my daughter." I have said so many bad things to my kids, and it's always in the heat of the moment, but I've never had to apologize to the world for it. I apologize to my kids for it. So it just, anyway, I'm done with that rant. I'm done. I'm sorry. I just had to let it out. Oh, now I feel bad because I just wasted so much of our time talking about that at this point. Okay, so going back over here to the questions here. Did I ever get the Gold Nigga album? I did. Thank you. I did end up getting it. I did a whole review about it. I did a whole video about it, how I was never going to watch it. And it was mostly just because I looked on Amazon and it was like $300. But somebody was very nice and they were able to get me a link. So yay. What do we think about the Black Album? I like the Black Album. I get why Prince pulled it. I don't think that it was his best work. And there definitely was a little bit more of an angry streak on the album, and he kind of wanted to go in more of a positive direction with his music at the time. So I get why it was pulled. So yeah, but I like it. I do like the Black Album. I thought it was really, really good. So let's see. I never heard the Exodus albums. We're almost to it. We're gonna get to it. Trust me. Do I ever consider Prince to rate with the greatest composers ever? Yes. Next question. I don't know if I really need to go that much further. Will I ever make an episode with my Prince collection? Oh, I mean, I could. Actually, most of my Prince collection is actually boxed up in a box somewhere where I can't get to it. All of my stuff right now is all digital, except for the newest Purple Rain Deluxe. Boom! But even then, I still listen to it digitally. But I did get the physical copy because, I mean, I had to do an unboxing, so I had to get it. I think if I didn't have the channel, I think I probably would have just bought it digitally. So I mean, that is what it is. All right, so let's see. How many Prince CDs do I have? How many albums does he have? I have all of the official albums, most of the maxi singles, a couple of the less official albums. I have a few bootlegs. And I think that's my CD collection. And I have a couple movies that I have as well. I also did, when I was a teenager and Prince was all over the TV, I used to have my VCR ready to record at any moment. So that anytime somebody would say something about Prince or talk about Prince or make fun of Prince, it didn't matter. I would hit record immediately and be able to get it. So I think that was a really, really good way to do it. Do I have a favorite Michael Jackson album? See, I knew somebody would come up with a non. That's my second. Not Black Nine, you got it, man. That's another non-Prince question from Black Nine. History, actually. History is my favorite of the Michael Jackson albums. A lot of people don't like that album as much as other ones, but when you Tabloid Junkie and Tabloid Junkie, Scream, Earth Song, those three songs right there make it awesome. So I think it makes it its best, and he has great music, but I would say boom, History, done. Dumb question. What's the best way to purchase Black Album? So you'll always have me say, I think that you should purchase anything that you can from Amazon. And there's a very self-serving reason for that. And it's because if you click on a link in one of my descriptions that brings you to the Amazon thing, I'm part of the referral program. So, I get like 25 cents or something if you end up buying an album. So, if you want to help the channel out, click that and order from Amazon. But really, you can buy it from anywhere. There's so many places you can buy it from. Black Album might actually be a little bit harder to get than others, but Amazon always has everything, which is what I like about Amazon Music and everything. And of course, you can do, the Amazon Music, set up and get the 30-day free trial and all that junk, and then you can just listen to a bunch of it. So there you go. You're welcome. What is my favorite Prince interview? Whew, that's a hard one. I think my favorite Prince interview would likely be the one that he did with Mel B. I really liked that one. You could tell that there was a mutual respect between the two of them. And you could tell that they had a lot of fun talking to each other. And yeah, I would say that one. Plus, like, he brought her out to like the swing set and they were like swinging while they were doing the interview. It was such a non-conformist interview. It wasn't just them two of them sitting and having a very serious discussion about something. Like, they had a walk, and then he showed her to the different rooms, and then they went and swung. Like, there you go. I think it was awesome. So there's that. Oh no, it jumped again. Ugh. Okay. This whole chat thing, I'm telling you. So, okay, so I found it again. So let's see. So Prince biopic, when and how should they do it? I don't know if they should do it. I don't think that there's like a rule that says like if there was an amazing musician, then there needs to be a movie about it. And I think if they did do one, then it should be like 10 years from now. I think right now, everybody's wounds are a little still tender. We're still hurting. We're still healing. So I think a biopic now would be the wrong time to do it. But I think if they were to come out with a biopic 10 years from now, I'd be down with that. 20 years from now, I'd be down with that. One of my favorite movies is the Doors movie, where you kind of got to look into the life of that band and Jim Morrison and his drug use and his relationships and all that stuff. And I think that you're far removed from it in the 80s because he, did all that stuff in the 60s and the 70s. So yes, I think that. I think give me a biopic like 10 years from now, and I think I will probably like it more than if you did one now, because now I would just watch it and I'd be like, oh, that's wrong, and that's wrong, and that's wrong. And 10 years from now I'll be like, yeah, that's wrong, but it's fine. So yeah, so there's that. Let's see the question. Let's see. Tell me what you think the Truth album. What you think about the Truth album. Did you enjoy the Truth bombs he dropped? The Truth I thought was really awesome. First off, just because it was an entirely acoustic album. So I liked that he was doing something different because he had done an acoustic song here and there, but he hadn't had an entire acoustic album. And Prince wasn't the type of person to go on like MTV Unplugged or anything, so he just did it himself. I think also Unplugged wasn't really going anymore at the time that album came out. But I think that, the Truth album I thought was really good. I liked the Animal Kingdom song where he was dropping some truths about, why are we drinking milk and stuff like that. I mean, it makes sense. But I really liked also Fascination. That's the song. I really loved Fascination. I thought that was just a really good song. And that was actually, if you go listen to it, it was actually one where he kind of used his music. Again, I was talking about this in a video earlier this week where he used his music to almost kind of insult Michael Jackson in Fascination, where he has the so-called king gives birth to a so-called prince. And yeah, there you go. So I would say I really dug The Truth, and I'll be able to dig more into that when we get to that review, which shouldn't be more than, I don't know, maybe 6 months away. It's so hard. It's so hard. What is my second favorite singer, artist, performer? Oh my gosh. If I had to think, I might say it's Trent Reznor at this point. Trent Reznor, for those of you who don't know, is the creator and the lead singer and everything of Nine Inch Nails. And he actually is very much like Prince, and which was probably why I gravitated towards him so much. He's kind of a one-man person in the studio where he does all the programming and he plays all of the different instruments and he does everything. And then, he has his own band when he tours, but pretty much his albums are all him, and he pours his heart out on those albums. If you ever do get the chance to go check out one of the albums, my favorite of his albums is called The Fragile. So you should go check that out because it is so good. So there you go. What are your favorite artists that didn't directly work with Prince? Oh, well, I kind of just answered that. There's that. I mean, I have some of my other favorites. I really love Serj Tankian. He's one of the singers for System of a Down, but he did do some of his own solo work. I'm a huge fan of Missy Elliott, who never worked with Prince, obviously. Wyclef Jean, I really, really like him. 311 is an amazing band. Weird Al Yankovic, I listen to a lot of him. So, because I like to laugh. The Lonely Island, again, because I like to laugh. But Incubus is pretty good. Fort Minor, Fiona Apple, Filter, the Cure. Oh, the Cure. Oh my gosh, I own every Cure album. They're amazing. David Bowie. There's so many good ones. And if you can tell the way that I was listing them kind of in the same letters, it's because I'm looking at my music library to remind myself of who else do I listen to that's not Prince. But yeah, so there's quite a bit though, trust me. So there's that. So Prince would have done an amazing storytellers. Yes, I agree. Do I have any fond memories of John Blackwell? I would actually say that I didn't really know John Blackwell that much. I was always more of a Michael B., Sheila E. kind of guy. But as I did a little bit more research and stuff this week, after hearing that he had passed away, and I learned more about him, of so many moments, honestly, because apparently he did most of the drums and everything for most of Prince's studio albums. So we have to thank him a lot for most of the drum beats and stuff. So thank you to John Blackwell. Let's see. Black Album is on Tidal. Awesome. There you go. Do I like Kate Bush? I don't know who Kate Bush is, and excuse me for my ignorance, but I really don't know who that is. Have I heard Khaled, DJ Khaled and his album American Teen? I have not, but that's an interesting one. I might have to go check that out. I will end up doing some Nine Inch Nails reviews. There's just so many reviews I want to do. But yes, I probably wouldn't start with Pretty Hate Machine. Or maybe I would. Maybe I would do the same thing with his albums that I'm doing with Prince's albums, and maybe just start right at the beginning with Pretty Hate Machine, go to Broken, and then Downward Spiral to Fragile, and it's go on the line. I think that's probably the best way to take everybody through the experience. I'm trying to I'm trying to thread that needle very carefully because this is a very Prince-centric channel. So the moment that I start kind of veering off from that and doing a ton of other reviews that aren't Prince, I'm not looking to start pissing off everybody who's here. So, so yeah, so there's that. Let's see. Have I ever listened to Prince's prank phone call audio? No, I have not. I saw the Jay Leno episode where they were talking about how he was calling and saying that he was going to fix Jay Leno's chair, and it was all a joke. And that was pretty funny, and how they had their kind of back and forth prank thing. But I haven't heard any of the audio. So if somebody has that, I'd love to hear that. Yeah, hell yeah, Close to Me, The Cure. That's an amazing one. Fiona, yeah, they're. Thank you. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed my list of artists. So that's kind of where my brain goes there. Do I ever watch the Power Rangers? I used to watch the Power Rangers a lot when I was younger. I actually just watched the Power Rangers movie. Was it last week or the week before? Because it just came out on DVD. And that was friggin' awesome. They took such a stupid concept and then they made it awesome. Like, I was like, what? This is amazing. I didn't like the new Megazord because they had the Power Rangers in like very not concealed portions of the chest. And if I was the monster, I would just be like, well, that's a dead Power Ranger right there. So I thought that was not that great of a design, but there you go. Do I listen to Queen? Yes, I do. It was just not one of the ones that I listed, but I do listen to some Queen. I don't listen to like everything, but I have a couple of favorite albums from Queen. Definitely, there's a lot of good stuff there. Parade rocked. Yes, it did. I enjoyed Parade. If you watch my review, it's not my favorite album of his, but it is still very, very good. Did I do anything special for 4th of July? I did. We had a cookout and we invited friends and family over. It was a lot of fun. The biggest thing for me on the 4th of July is, as some of you know, I'm actually a writer / game designer in my day job. That's what allows me to stay home, and I work from home most of the time. But one of the games that I designed got up for an award. So yeah, well, actually one was nominated for one award and the other one just won an award right out. So I was pretty proud of myself on 4th of July. Of course, I was jumping up and down, and I had, family here, and, they're like people who don't know my industry and people who, don't know anything about it. So they're like, oh, congratulations. But, they don't really know what they're congratulating me about. So there's that. One in my review section got deleted. Nothing in my review section got deleted. There was, I did have 2 versions of my Under the Cherry Moon review, but one got blocked because I had too much of the footage in it, or any of the footage. They were like, you can't show any of the footage from Under the Cherry Moon. And I'm like, I had it perfect too. I had it so well laid out, with, funny snaps and stuff like that. But, nothing in my review section got deleted. But when I first started my videos and my channel, I had a lot of like interviews and performances and stuff like that, and all of the performances and the videos, those got taken down, but my interviews got left up, except that the TRL interview just got taken down. So what are you gonna do? Do I pick my naps? Actually, I don't. If I picked this out, like right now it's here, and if I picked it out, it'd be about right here. So no, I don't. I like my naturally curly hair because it allows me to not have to do anything to it, and it looks good. I'm not going to say it looks perfect, but it looks good most of the time. So there's that. There is a question on here: who drew the 1999 album cover? And honestly, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sure I could research it and I could get back to you, but I really don't know. I like the 1999 album cover though. I thought that it was pretty nice. But I don't know. I'm so sorry. Is that a real tattoo on my hand? Yes, actually, this was my very first tattoo. I got it earlier this year. It's 3 puzzle pieces. I have a blue one, a green one, and a red one. And it's a symbol of autism. My oldest son, who is 16, is autistic. So it was a tattoo that I got for him. My next tattoo, I actually plan on getting the Prince love symbol on my arm. I'm really excited about that, but it costs money. So I have to save up the money for that. So there you go. Because it's going to cost like probably about 150 bones. So we'll see what happens. What type of games do I design for consoles or computer? Oh, all right. I didn't know that was going to go this way. Neither. I am actually a tabletop RPG designer. So if you've ever played anything like Dungeons and Dragons or anything, I design games similar to that, where you sit around with your friends and you roll dice and you have fun and you just kind of tell collaborative stories. So those are the kinds of games that I design. So nothing for consoles or computer. Sadly, I wish I could. I would love to write for some of those. I don't know how to code or anything. What's my sign? I am a Leo on a Cancer cusp. So a little bit of each. So there's that. So let's see. Oh, good job, Chris Moon. Go on with your bad self being a game designer. Do I have any favorite TV shows? Me and my wife actually just finished Lost. I watched it once before. This was my second time watching it. This was her first time watching it. And I loved it the second time around. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is an amazing show. I would love to take my channel in even another direction and have a TV show review thing where I watch every episode of Buffy and I review it for you. Because I just love Buffy that much. I've watched the entire series at least 6 times from beginning to end. And then, individual episodes, a bunch here and there. But, oh, man. So what got me into Prince? Prince did. That's a funny one. No, what got me into Prince was my mom bought me Graffiti Bridge. And actually, no, my mom didn't buy me Graffiti Bridge. I bought Graffiti Bridge, and it was the very first album that I ever bought with my own money. And I loved it, and I might have loved it even more because I bought it with my own money. You know, that whole thing where if you buy it with your own money, it means more to you. So I bought it with my own money, and I listened the hell out of that. And I remember when I was that old, and my friends would be like, "Well, I'm going to put in my CD," and my friend was obsessed with Life is a Highway. Not the Rascal Flatts version, the original version by that guy, and I hate that version. Like, I can't listen to it because it brings back memories of how much my friend at that age used to listen to that song so much. And then I'd be like, no, I'm going to put this CD back in because you need to listen to Prince instead of that thing because Prince is way better than this. But after I listened to that and I got into the funk and I felt what Prince was trying to do on the Graffiti Bridge, that was when I started my journey of Prince. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, he's got all these albums. I'll start at the beginning. And I bought For You, and then I bought Prince, and then I went in order. And I bought each one and I consumed them. They didn't have lyric books back in the day, and you couldn't just go online and just look up the lyrics. So I actually would listen to every song like a billion times, and I would write the lyrics down myself so that I could have them for posterity. And again, like just, and sometimes I got them wrong, and that's how it is, but just having the lyrics there is just, and writing them, I think that's why they're so cemented in my brain at this point. Whereas some of Prince's later albums where I didn't have that experience, where I had to consume it like that, I forget more words to some of those songs than I do the earlier songs where they are just, I will never forget them. So let's see. Did I see the interview with Tavis Smiley at the radio station talking about Prince's reaction to Michael Jackson passing in the meeting between Michael Jackson? I did not. So if anybody wants the link to that, I am more than happy to watch it. But I don't think I saw that one. What's my favorite movie genre? I like dark comedies. It's kind of my thing. Um, dark comedies, definitely. So let's see. What did Prince think about tattoos? He was not a fan of tattoos. He was not a fan of, any kind of desecration to your body. He didn't have any tattoos. He didn't eat meat. Stuff like that. So I always used to have a rule where if the person that you shouldn't have a Metallica tattoo if the people in Metallica don't have a Metallica tattoo. But I think for me, Prince just has such a deep spot in my heart that I don't know. It feels wrong to not get one of him now that I've already gone past. I've gotten the tattoo now, and now as soon as you get one tattoo, this is a common thing. As soon as you get one tattoo, you want to get tons of tattoos. So I'm just waiting for the next tattoo that I can get. And if I'm going to get another one soon, I want to make it that one. I want to make it the Prince love symbol. And it's going to be pretty simple. I just want the regular. So I don't want something crazy graffiti or anything. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let's see. So I see. Are you willing to start a Let's Play section of this channel or on a new channel? Not really sure what that means. So if you want to post something else that'll maybe clarify that, that would be good. Yeah, see, Dion knows what I'm talking about. Totally. It's like I got one and now I want like a million tattoos. So what's my view on Maite? Do I think she's an opportunist? No, I think everybody has a time to tell their own story, and I don't think that it's opportunist to tell it now. Would she still be opportunist if she told it a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now? Would she still be an opportunist? I don't think so. So now's just as fine time as ever, I think. So definitely. My favorite show is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm watching that with my daughter right now, actually. Ashley White says, I love Graffiti Bridge. So apparently she's not sure if she loves her Graffiti Bridge or not. Let's see. Have I ever met Prince? This is actually one of those questions I get quite a bit because I did call myself Prince's friend. So I get, that's like usually like the first question I get is, well, did you ever meet him? And I go, no. Prince used to call, he didn't like to use fan. He didn't like fans because it was short for fanatic. So he called his followers and the people who loved his music his friends. So that's why I am Prince's friend and not his fan. And I know that there are some there's some other people, like I know there's like a Prince's Friend Forever that I've seen. So I mean, other people jumped on that train. Other people know. But yeah, I always go with friends because that's what he liked. That's what he liked to call us. And I'm just one of Prince's friend. And that's actually, why it's not like, I don't jump on and I tell you all about myself and every video, and I share my name and I'm talking about me, because for me, it's, I'm just one of Prince's friends. And it's one of those kind of things where, like, this is the first time that I've been kind of open and I'm sharing more about, my personal life with you guys. And I appreciate that you guys are actually interested in that sort of thing. But, like for me, it's like, it's about the music. That's just how it is. It's like, I'm here to share in the music and, I'm no more important than you guys. Like, just because I have a channel, like anybody can have a channel. Like, I'm glad that everybody's come here and you guys have helped make my channel more of a success than I could ever hope that it would be. But, I'm just one man and I'm just one person who loves Prince. And there are a lot of people who know way more than Prince about Prince than I do, and people who know less. So, I'm comfortably in the middle. I don't know everything. I don't have every bootleg and stuff like that, but I like to think that, that my opinions and my viewpoints are worth listening to, and you guys have validated that for me. So thank you. Can I speak another language? I'm learning Chinese currently, not a lot, but some. I can say simple sentences and stuff. Um, I do sing. I don't play any instruments. I used to play the trumpet when I was younger, but that talent is long gone. Uh, um, do I like Key and Peele? Yes. Key and Peele speaks to me in a way. It's funny because um, Dave Chappelle actually has a bit in his stand up where he says, I watch Key and Peele sometimes too, since they're just doing my show, and I think that that's awesome. He did kind of pave the way for Key and Peele to have their own show after he left. But I think also there was a difference between Chappelle's show that kind of spoke more to the Black experience, and Key and Peele spoke more about what it was like to be half Black and half white, or of mixed race. And I actually identified even more with Key and Peele's comedy than I did with Chappelle's show. So there you go. Do I think Prince was killed? I don't. I'm sorry. I know some people are into that and they like to think of the theories and stuff like that. But no, I don't. I don't think that I don't think he was murdered. I also don't think that he faked his death. There are people today who still think that Elvis is out there running around and he'd be over 100 years old. People are like, but Elvis, he's definitely still. No, he died. It's a thing. We've mourned. We're getting over it, but it's it takes a process for everybody. So for some people, it's hard to let go, so they kind of come up with these different stories. Jordan Holmes, thank you so much for loving the channel. I appreciate it. And yes, friend, never fanatic. Let's see. Do I want to start a gaming channel on that gaming channel doing Let's Play videos? No, probably not. I'm not that avid of a gamer, so I don't think it's for me. So yeah, there you go. And just to remind everybody, I'm in the middle of Maite's book. Maybe next live stream I'll be done with it and we can talk more about Maite's book. So I am not done with it. So have I introduced my kids to Prince's music? Yes, I definitely have. We all watched the Prince and the Revolution live together a couple of weeks ago for the review, and they loved it, so much so that today we actually ended up watching one of the 2014 ones that he was with Third Eye Girl. We had a ball watching that one. They love his music. My daughter loves a lot of the hit and run stuff. My youngest son likes some of his older stuff. So, Love Bazaar time. Have I heard the released version of Crystal Ball? Not Crystal Ball, the official. I assume you're talking about Crystal Ball, the project that he was working on that was then split up and turned into basically Sign of the Times. I haven't heard the official. I mean, I've seen the lineup and stuff. Most of the songs are all songs that we've kind of heard. So I would say I like it, but maybe I'll do a review of that order of songs, and maybe we'll do it that way. I like that. Let's see. Oh no, it jumped again. Do I like old music like the Beatles and Led Zeppelin or other groups from the 60s and 70s like Styx? I'm actually not that big into the 60s and 70s, but I love the Beatles. They're kind of like my exception to the rule. I don't really like the older music, but I really like the Beatles, and they just came out with the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band Deluxe, and I've been listening to the hell out of that. I've been thinking about doing a review on that just because it came out, but I just haven't done it. This week I took off of reviews, by the way. I don't know if you guys have noticed, just because I've been going balls to the wall with reviews. Just over the last 3 weeks, I was just almost every day was a review. So I kind of took this week off. So there's that. Do I play video games? Yes, I do. I'm playing Injustice 2 a lot right now. What do I think about Prince talking about chemtrails? the whole chemtrails theory, I think it's got some good ideas in there, but I don't think that it's entirely baked. So, but I don't think that acknowledging these different ideas and these different theories is the same as subscribing entirely to them. And I don't fault anybody for what they believe. So, more power to them, I think. What do I think about talk about the Illuminati? I don't. I don't think at all about the Illuminati. So it's. I'm sorry. I just don't. Yeah. So we have about 5 minutes left. So I'm going to try and get to as many of these questions as possible. Do I like Princess Fro? Yeah, I do. It was actually kind of the reason that I got my fro was because I saw his fro and I was just like, hey man, he's kind of rocking that. Maybe I'll let my hair grow out and see how I like it. And then I ended up liking it, so it was good. Do I like rock music? I guess it depends on what you define as rock music. If we're going like straight up rock, like Iron Maiden and AC/DC, I would say no, I don't like either of those bands. But again, I do listen to Nine Inch Nails, Smashing Pumpkins, Seven Dust. I do listen to a lot of rock, but not necessarily like rock and roll, but more rock, like harder rock. So there's that. Have I ever seen Prince in the New Girls? Oh, on New Girl, of course. I watched him on the New Girl. I know the whole story, and I might have to do a video about the story of how he got onto New Girl because it's actually a pretty funny story. I even went and bought the Does Everybody Want to Fall in Love Tonight? I went and bought that one because there's a version of him singing with Zooey Deschanel, and I bought that version off of iTunes because I was like, that's so awesome. But she's actually got a really good voice. Is there someone behind me? Possibly. Nope, not right now. But that is my kitchen behind me. So my son probably didn't listen and came and got a drink or something while I wasn't paying attention. Who knows? And that would be my oldest son. So there you go. Let's see. But no, I loved the New Girl episode. I thought that it was awesome. Okay. So I do want to get to maybe one or two more of the questions that were put up here before. So let's see here. I actually already answered that one. A couple of these actually already came up. Do you feel Prince was better in the 80s or the 90s as far as music? I would say that that's a hard question to answer because 10 years is such a big amount of time. And if we look at the 80s, Prince evolved from his beginnings and became the pop rock icon that he became with Purple Rain, and then went on a spiritual journey, and then like ended with Graffiti Bridge. So I mean, it's like he went on like a really like sex to love spiritual journey throughout the whole decade. So it's really hard to even say like that there was a definitive Prince for the 80s. And the 90s are pretty much the same. Like he started off very pop and he did the whole name change, and then there was the slave, and then there was the emancipation, and it kind of all built up to this whole thing, and then he started doing his own, and he kind of elevated himself business wise. So yeah, I mean, I'm a 90s kid, so I would say he was obviously better in the 90s, but then the 80s had Love Sexy. So the 80s had the 80s had Batman. The 80s had Around the World in a Day. I mean, it's so hard to say. It's so hard to say what I would think would be the better decade. That's a really, really hard question. 10 years from now, who would play Prince in a biopic? I don't know. You know what? I think that there are a lot of really great actors that are in some of these newer movies, and they're young actors, but they're really, really good. I was actually watching, if we just take Power Rangers, for instance, like all the kids in that movie were really, really good. They did a good job. So I would love to see like what they become and whether they think they would be able to take on the Prince's role. Now, of course, I'm hoping that I remember the newest movie that's coming out that's about Michael Jackson and a couple of his friends taking a road trip, and they actually got a white man to play him. I know a lot of people were up in arms about that, so I'm just hoping that they cast it appropriately. I think is the biggest thing that I would say. So yeah, so there's that, and my kids are 16, 13 going on 14, and 14 months. So I have two older kids, and then I have the little baby, because that's how life is. So there you go. So yeah, so there's that, and I'm gonna just do one last question. I'll do the did I like the BET tributes? And I would say yes. I thought that they were all really good. I think that the fact that they didn't just sing Purple Rain songs was good. I think that the fact that they didn't just sing Nothing Compares to You, like I get why they're singing Nothing Compares to You. Like I get it, I get why they're like, oh, well, you sing Nothing Compares to You because nothing compares to Prince. That makes sense. But like it's a breakup song. Like why wouldn't you sing a song about how awesome someone is? Like sing a different song. I don't know. It's kind of annoying. But but there was uh, thank you. I don't look old. But I do. This kind of gives me away here. If you see here, like it gives me away. But I thought that actually all of the I thought that all of the I thought all of them were good. The only one I didn't like was Erica Badu's. I think she gave it her best shot in singing the Ballad of Dorothy Parker, but I don't think it. I think it was a swing and a miss, sadly. But I think that it did overall. And then Sheila E's. Go if you haven't watched it, go watch my my tribute SmackDown video where I kind of went over them because obviously Sheila had the best one. So yeah, definitely great. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna cut it off there because I could ramble on for hours and hours. But I told everybody that they had to stay in their rooms during the live cast and not come out. So my wife is in our room and my kids are both locked away in their rooms. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off there at an hour and a half. Thank you so much. I thought that we were going to not have anything to talk about and I was gonna have to make up things, but we actually ended up capping out. I think at the top we were at about 58 people. So I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna try and maybe make this a monthly thing, maybe once a month, and we'll see what we can do next time. We'll see if we can do 75 people next time because I think this one was good. I think that we covered a lot, and I only got to like 3 questions that were posted before. So hopefully we'll have time to get through those, and I think it'll work out. So thank you everybody for coming, and may you live to see the dawn. Bye.